Raising meat rabbits or buying organic rabbit meat, which one actually saves you more money? If you have ever tried to buy organic rabbit in America or Australia or Canada or the UK or France or Germany or Norway or Switzerland, you already know two things. First, it's hard to find. Second, when you do find it, the price makes you blink twice. Rabbit is a fantastic protein. It's lean and mild and cooks faster than chicken. But that premium label at the butcher or specialty store can run anywhere from $5 to $10 per pound and sometimes more. So a lot of folks start asking the obvious question, what if I just raise a few in the backyard instead? I've done the math and I've talked to growers across all 8 countries. And the answer is pretty consistent. You can grow that same organic quality meat at home for a fraction of the retail cost. Let's talk real numbers for raising your own. The biggest cost in raising rabbits is feed. The biggest win is how fast they turn that feed into meat. Most meat breeds like New Zealand White and Californian reach a harvest weight of 4 to 5 pounds, live in 10 to 12 weeks. The feed to meat ratio is usually 3 to 1. That means for every 3 pounds of pellets and forage they eat, you get about 1 pound of dressed meat in the freezer. That ratio is what makes the whole thing work. In America, a lot of homesteaders track only the pellets and hay that go directly into the grow-outs, and they get numbers like $1.25 per pound of dressed meat. That figure does not include the cages or your time, but those are one-time or fixed costs that spread out over years. When you include the feed for the breeding does and bucks plus the babies you aren't harvesting yet, the full cost picture looks closer to $8 per pound. Most small farms that run a monthly ledger land somewhere in the middle. One homesteader in the U.S. keeps 7 does and 2 bucks and feeds about $95 of pellets every month. She processes roughly 15 rabbits each month, and each one gives 3.5 to 4 pounds of meat. Do the math. And she's at $1.67 to $1.90 per pound. She still has her breeding stock ready to kindle the next round, so the system keeps rolling. The story is almost identical in Canada and Australia. Pellet prices and hay prices are close to what Americans pay, and growers who add garden waste and lawn forage report the same $1 to $2 per pound range. In the UK, people don't talk as much about meat rabbits, but pet keepers say they spend 10 to 20 pounds a month on hay plus pellets and veg for each rabbit. Scale that to a production setup with efficient breeding, and you still land in that low per pound cost. Germany and France have a long tradition of small-scale rabbit-keeping farmers. Thereby grain in bulk and graze rabbits on forage when the weather allows. Most of them quote around $1.80 per pound once everything is averaged out. Norway and Switzerland are the 2 places where the numbers jump. Feed is imported or produced under stricter and more expensive regulations, and land is at a premium. Backyard producers in those countries usually see a break even closer to $2.50 per pound. Even then, you're still way under retail. Now, the store-bought side of the story, organic or farm-raised rabbit at the store, is a specialty product. Processing is labor-intensive, and inspected facilities are few and far between. That's why the price stays high, no matter the country. In America, a local farm that markets antibiotic-free rabbit sells it for $6 per pound, and each fryer dresses out at 2 to 4 pounds. A grocery chain in Tennessee had frozen rabbit on the shelf for $5.99 per pound. A butcher shop in Alabama stocked fresh farm raised rabbit at $7.99 per pound. And they posted that it would sell out fast because they only get a few each week. Farmers who sell direct often tell customers that 15 processed rabbits would run $600 to $1,000 retail. That works out to $40 to $67 each, which is $7 to $10 per pound, depending on size. In Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Norway, and Switzerland, the pattern holds. Specialty butchers and farmers markets carry rabbit seasonally, and the price is usually $5 to $8 per pound. In Norway and Switzerland, imported organic rabbit can push past $10 per pound because of transport costs and strict animal welfare rules. You're paying for the convenience and for the fact that someone else handled breeding, feeding, cleaning, and processing. Why the gap is so wide? Processing is the big one. A small-scale processor may charge $5 per rabbit, and the farmer still has feed, housing, labor, and overhead. To cover costs and make a modest margin, that farmer needs to charge over $20 per fryer. Add packaging, distribution, and the retailer's markup, and you quickly hit $7 per pound on the shelf. When you raise and process at home, you skip every one of those steps. Time to market is the second reason. A healthy doe can kindle 8 times per year. If you keep 3 does and 1 buck, you can realistically put 150 to 300 pounds of meat in the freezer every year. The rabbits are ready in 3 months, so your feed dollars turn into food fast. You also get byproducts. Pelts from breeds like Rex or Silver Fox sell for $20 to $25 each. Rabbit manure is a cold manure that can go straight on the garden without composting. It's fantastic for tomatoes and greens. Those extras help offset your feed bill even more. So which route should you choose if you have a corner of the yard for a few hutches? And you're okay with harvest day, raising meat rabbits wins in every country we talked about. Even in Norway and Switzerland, where feed is expensive, you're still under half of the cost of store-bought organic. You control the diet. Most homesteaders feed a base of pellets and then add hay weeds, garden trimmings, and fodder. No medications and no antibiotics are needed when the animals are kept clean and dry. You end up with meat that's every bit as clean as the organic label at the store for $1 to $2 per pound. If you can't process animals or you only want rabbit for a holiday meal, buying organic makes sense. You pay for convenience and you support a small farmer who did the work. In America, Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Norway, and Switzerland, the retail path will usually be $5 to $8 per pound and sometimes higher. You all walk out with dinner and no chores, and for some families, that's the right call. How to get started if you want to raise your own, pick a proven meat breed. New Zealand White and Californian are the standard because they grow fast and have good dress out percentages. American Chinchilla is a great dual-purpose breed if you want pelts too. Florida White is smaller but very efficient on feed. Start with a trio of 2 does and 1 buck. Give each adult a cage that's at least 36 inches by 18 inches with a solid resting mat to prevent sore hocks. Breed your does at 5 to 6 months old. Expect 5 to 8 kits in the first litter. By the third litter, many does give you 8 to 10 kits. Let the kits nurse for 6 weeks and then grow them out to 12 to 16 weeks. At that age, a fryer will dress out at 3 to 5 pounds. Track your feed. Write down every bag of pellets and every bale of hay. Weigh a few rabbits before and after processing so you know your true yield. Once you know your cost per pound, you can see where to save. Many growers cut costs by sprouting barley fodder or by growing a patch of comfrey and clover for fresh greens. In France and Germany, it's common to let rabbits forage in tractors on pasture during the day. In Australia and America, growers use hay that their goats or cows waste. Every handful of free forage drops your cost per pound. A quick note on time and lifestyle. Raising rabbits isn't free. You'll spend 10 to 15 minutes each day feeding, watering, and checking animals. You'll spend a few hours on processing day every month or two. You'll need to manage breeding records so you don't breed too young or too often. But for a lot of people, that time is worth it. You get food security, and you know your meat never saw medication or stressful transport. In places like the UK and Canada, where food prices keep climbing, that peace of mind has real value. At the end of the day, the choice is simple. If you want the lowest cost organic quality rabbit and you're willing to do the work, you can raise it for roughly $1 to $2 per pound, whether you live in America or Australia or Canada or the UK or France or Germany or Norway or Switzerland. If you want the same meat without the work, you'll pay $5 to $8 per pound at the store. Both are valid. One just leaves a lot more money in your pocket.